Hey guys, as I am packing up, I decided to do a quick collection video of my Genesis and Master System and Sega CD games, and I'm going to try and rush through this as fast as possible because I don't really have a whole lot of time. I am still at the 15-minute marker, and you're looking at my wall. So very quickly, here is Street Smart. This game sucks, but it's an inside joke with a friend of mine who gave it to me. And I actually used to have this when I was a teenager. We used to make fun of the artwork on the cover because this kind of looks like what my dad used to look like. And this dude punching him looks like an old friend of ours. Exactly like an old friend of ours. And anyway, yeah, that game is pretty terrible. Another terrible game is Shadow Blasters. This looks like an 8-bit game for some reason. That's not like a strike against it because of how it looks, but it's really not that fun to play. Yeah, I don't really know what to say about this other than I don't like it that much, but I have it, and it's mine! Yay! And okay, here we go. Here's something good. The 6-pack. This contains, as you can see, possibly because it's very dark in here, I don't know if you can see it or not, it contains Golden Axe, Sonic the Hedgehog, Columns, Revenge of Shinobi, Streets of Rage, and Super Hang-On. And I used to have this in a cardboard edition, but this is a hard case that I got. What happened was I lent my Genesis to my brother-in-law with that game, and I never saw it again, so I bought that off of eBay. And I got a hard box, and I was expecting it to come in a cardboard, so that was pretty exciting to get a cool clamshell instead of the crappy cardboard. Sonic 2, yeah, okay. Y'all have played it. You know what the drill is with Sonic 2. Thunder Force 2, a very early Genesis game, and it's also excellent. Excellent music, excellent series. And, yeah, good stuff. Really good stuff. And here is its excellent and superior sequel, Thunder Force 3. This really just is mind-blowing still to this day. This is a Genesis game, and it looks and sounds the way it does. And we'll get to the others later. Okay, and here is Rambo 3, which I bought just out of basically being a Genesis fanboy, and I wanted to have another Genesis game in the pile. And it's an okay game. And, you know, Rambo was one of those early Sega licenses that kind of hung on for a while. McDonald's Treasureland Adventure. Here's an early game from Treasure. It's not very good, but a lot of people seem to like it just because it was done by Treasure, and I don't think that is enough criteria to determine whether or not this is a good game. And I've played it, and I've found out that I don't like it. I do like having the game. It's a nice little thing to have, and I got my picture taken with Ronald McDonald while I was holding this game because I used to live like very, very short distance from McDonald's, and there was a Ronald McDonald in there, and he was doing balloon animals and magic tricks and stuff for a fundraiser for a local school, and I happened to be there, and I ran home and grabbed the game and my camera, and I got the picture taken. And I tried to upload the picture to the Pete's Game Room forum, and the picture is apparently too big, and I don't really know how to resize it. So maybe I'll show you that picture in a video at some point, or I'll figure out how to resize the picture and post it on that forum. But it probably won't happen either way. Anyway, Golden Axe 2. I have a cool poster for this. This is basically just the same game, but with different backgrounds and some new sprites for the characters. But yeah, it's not like it's a bad thing because Golden Axe is fun. And here's Double Dragon 3, the arcade game, and this artwork is friggin' hideous. Look at that crap. This is just, ugh. Yeah. Okay, I have one that's even worse. I'll show you that, and I'll point it out what it is later. Double Dragon 3. What a piece of crap. Especially in the arcade. The port is better than the arcade. Aero the Acrobat. Look at this. Look at this generic mascot platformer. The post-Sonic, post-Mario, definitely post-Sonic. This is, this is clearly influenced by Sonic the Hedgehog. It's not as bad as Bubsy, but it isn't any good. I don't really think this game is anything to write home about. And just to show you how much I love this game, I have the sequel also, Aero the Acrobat 2, and I didn't play either of these very long, but they do play pretty much identically. I don't really know if there's any difference in the gameplay on those. I haven't given enough of a chance to determine that to be true or not, but yeah, here's Contra Hardcore. There used to be a store called Game Crazy, and I got this at Game Crazy for $4, and it is complete with the warranty card and everything. $4 for Contra Hardcore. I bet you can't get that on eBay for $4 now. Here is Valis 3 for the Genesis. Graphically superior to the PC Engine version, and the animation is better as well. The music, while it doesn't sound as good as the PC Engine TurboGrafx 16 CD version, I kind of prefer the chiptunes versions of the songs on this than I do the Turbo CD, because the Turbo CD, well, they just sounded weird after getting used to this. This is not the complete game. The Turbo CD is more complete, and it's also much harder. And it's very similar to Castlevania 3. Last Battle. This is the American version of Fist of the North Star for the Genesis. This is a very, very early Genesis game. From the launch, all the blood has been removed, and all the names were changed. Kenshiro was changed to Arzak, and there was many other names that were changed, and it's just kind of dopey, the new translation that they gave it. I don't know why they changed it, because Fist of the North Star was kind of established in the United States on the NES and the Game Boy, and it had the manga released and translated, part of it anyway, first 8 issues by Viz in the United States. Space Harrier 2, very early Genesis game. One of the best. I really love this one. This is a fantastic version of Space Harrier. It's a sequel to Space Harrier 3D, actually. It references that in the scroll at the beginning of the game that kind of brings you up to date in the storyline. So it's actually the third in the series. And, okay, speaking of a series, here's Streets of Rage 2. This is the best of the Streets of Rage games, I think. I'm pretty sure most people would agree. And I actually have decided that I prefer Streets of Rage over Final Fight. That might be blasphemous, but I do. Here's Heavy Nova. This was touted as a wonderful, excellent game in magazines and such. And not in the reviews, I mean like in the hype, because the graphics were awesome. And look, 8 megabit memory. Oh my goodness, 8 megabits, can you believe it? Anyway, this game sucks. It's also available on the Sega CD. Well, actually it's only in Japan, so it's on the Mega CD. And it has better sounding music, and that's about it. That's the only reason I bought it, was for the music, because the game is terrible. Wonder Boy in Monster World. This is excellent. Buy it. It might be on the PlayStation Network. If you don't feel like hunting down the cartridge, do yourself a favor and buy that, because it's awesome. The whole series is awesome. Rocket Knight Adventure. This was Konami's little mascot platformer, and this is a great game. There's even a boss in which you use rock'em sock'em robot techniques to do a boss battle, and this is a lot of fun, and I highly recommend it. And yeah, okay, I'm still trying to hurry. Here is the other game that I was talking about with the really horrible artwork. Check this out. Look at the size of Frank Castle's mouth on the cover to the Punisher. Somebody actually signed their name for this artwork. You can see it right here. And look at Nick Fury. Here's Nick Fury. His black costume was in the wash that day, and he's wearing a yellow one instead, apparently. This is a port of Capcom's arcade game, and it doesn't play as well as the arcade version, obviously, but it's a decent port. I wouldn't say it's a perfect one, but it's decent. This is Burning Force. This is an old Namco game when Namco was Namcot in Japan. And this kind of plays like Space Harrier, except you're on a rocket. As you can see here, this is the chick, I forgot her name, and then you're flying around on this. And you can gain power-ups, and it plays very similar to Space Harrier. This is the Mega Drive, the Japanese Mega Drive version of Gyarados. Excellent renovation game. It's a side-scrolling shooter. It's pretty difficult. You can fire out a weapon called the Taz, which will obtain weapons from your enemies, and you can use those instead of grabbing power-ups by shooting things down. And it has some pretty cool music and effects, and it was brought out in the US, and it's not terribly hard to find, but it's worth tracking down. This is Magical Taruto-kun. Japanese, obviously. This was never ported to the US. It plays similar to Klonoa. This is your character that you use, and this wand will bring inanimate objects to life, and then you can throw them at your enemies. And there's only 4 levels, but they're all very long, and it gets really, really tough on the 3rd stage, which is an automatically scrolling stage. And then here is Alyssia Dragoon. This is awesome. This game is really good. You use this lady, and she can fire lightning out of her hands, and you get these different familiars, these little dragons, and they will power up and level up as long as you have them, and they will assist you in fighting your foes. And it's really cool, and I highly recommend this game. It's very fun, very cool game to play. This is Chichi Boys for the Genesis. I think this was an arcade game. Pretty sure. Somebody can confirm that for me. That'd be nice. I think that's a Data East game. Anyway, this is the Genesis port of Shadow Dancer. It's not identical to the arcade. It's an original game, pretty much, for the Genesis and the Mega Drive. It's really good. Kind of easy. I used to beat this on the hardest difficulty without using any shurikens, because it's basically pattern memorization. And it is a arcade. The arcade was the sequel to Shinobi, and you can use your pet dog Yamato as a weapon to disarm enemies, so you can rush up and beat them. This Batman game is based on the movie from 1989, and it was held up by Nintendo's business practices and exclusivity in the US. It didn't get released in the US for a pretty good while after the movie had come and gone. But yeah, this is an okay game. It looked to me like it was actually a 16-bit version of the 8-bit Nintendo Batman game, but that turned out to not be the case. This, it's okay. I don't think it's all that great. I used to love it when I was a kid, though. But when I was a teenager. Sonic 3D Blast. This was not made by Sonic Team, and this is the Genesis version. The true version, I would say, is the Saturn version, and this is sort of the stripped down, semi-stripped down version. It was, I think, maybe Sega's answer to the way Donkey Kong country looked because it used like SGI type graphics and it is an isometric type game. And I am hit 15 minutes, and I don't think I can upload this if it's over 15 minutes, so I'm going to stop it here and do part 2.